Hey, folks, it is Friday, August 15th, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, right here on the West Coast. I am Brannon Beliso. This is Success Never Sleeps. So, we, as a collective of small business owners, predominantly martial arts school owners, just trying to figure out this thing called life. We want to create a business that works for us, is profitable, allows us to take care of ourselves, our family, our team, our community, save for retirement, own a home, whatever your dream might be. That to me is true entrepreneurship as it should be designed, creating passive income that works for me versus me working for it. And so we try to figure that thing out each week with different topics here on Success Never Sleeps. And we invite you to hang with us, tell your friends, and spread the love. Let's start by thanking our sponsors to make all of this possible. We have Tusa, simply good people, great. You need uniforms, belts, sparring gear, things of that nature. Longtime family business we've worked with since the 90s. Yep. My father was one of their first clients. Market Muscle, Stephen Reinstein, who really started his business to help save his instructor school. Again, something super powerful. My Studio, simply the finest CRM system out there, was originally set up to create, the way of communication between students and parents and their martial arts schools on booking things like belt testing, parents' night out. And it's grown into this amazing CRM system. Kids Love Life Skills. It was my passion project originally. I knew life skills was the key to setting us up to have parents view us as an investment versus an extracurricular activity. And I understand to this day that life skills is that component. LC Accounting, my sister Letitia, who's a black belt in Kenpo and a BJJ practitioner. Love my sister Letitia. She gets us and she makes what I do so much more manageable and simple. You need great bookkeeping needs, look her up. And then the kids at Kin Creative, I call them kids because they're kids, in their 20s, doing amazing work with digital media, Google, Facebook, Instagram ads. Again, it came out of the pandemic, them saving their parents' school. So I seem to gravitate towards businesses that are born out of true purpose and true love. And so all of these businesses I work with. As you come aboard, say hello. Tell us who you are, where you're tuning in from. We love to know who's hanging out with us here at the show. If you're here, share this with somebody. Get them to sit on and hang out with us. Cool? All right. What do we got coming up, Marco? It's Time Life Freedom. It is a 4-day retreat, a pilgrimage. People come from Germany, Australia, England, Canada, and all over the United States to spend 4 days with me and my team as we help you cultivate the freedom that you deserve. And if you can't block out 4 days, you need to block out 4 days. You know what I mean? I find a lot of school owners are simply stuck. They need that light at the end of the tunnel. And I believe in the 4 days you spend with us, outdoors, indoors, in the classroom, breaking bread, doing all these different things, that it will help you discover what it takes to create the freedom you deserve. We have 10 spots discounted at $199 off. Marco put the link in there. And if you really want to do something much different than the 2-day seminars you attend, this would be it. Cool. And time-wise, if that doesn't work, think about our mentoring group. We have our It's Time group mentoring. Me and my team are in your back pocket. We are mentors with you 24/7, 365, figuring out the every day-to-day things that it really takes to move the needle in your business to create success. And again, we'll post the link for that. Think about hopping on a discovery call with us, which we are grateful to do with you. So what is it all about? Everything, is about back to school, right? We understand back to school is here. We really want to be best positioned to maximize the potential of this time of year. Now, a lot of people, they dread the summers and they dread the summers and they dread the summers and they sit there and they just look forward to August, right? Back to school. Well, I beg to differ. I think summertime should be a great opportunity to utilize the revenue stream of summer camps. If you're not doing that, I might recommend it. I know you don't want to be a babysitter and burn out your staff, many martial arts schools. So I tell them, hire an outside team. Colleges, right? High schools have career centers. Create that team. Someone said, I don't have enough facility space. Well, consider a specialty camp from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. I just believe those down hours and the summertime opportunity of camps can be extremely powerful. So we're coming off the momentum of summer camp. We're coming off the momentum of all our classes during the summer and not changing the schedule, which was very, very vital. I watched a lot of people change up the schedule, and you're trying to tell me, one of your students, your consumers, that I'm going to pay you top dollar for you to move my class to an inconvenient time, bunch me up with year 2, year 3, year 4 students, when normally I'm in a class with just my peers, age level, skill level appropriate. Not acceptable. Not acceptable. We have the momentum of that. We have a lot of people that have been on hold, right? That's a big one. What do you do with all those people on hold? Well, you can sit there and just hope they're going to come back, or you can strategically plan for it. And here's how we did that. Our curriculum is designed where it works in the same cycle as the school year. So in January, we do a 3-month cycle. They earn six stripes on their belt, 6 stripes on their belt. When we come to April, which is spring break, we spend that whole month doing makeup stripes, review, and testing. Now, it's not a whole month. I think that's a huge misconception. We're talking about what? 8 classes if they come twice a week. One of those weeks, we're going to lose 2 classes because they're on spring break. So you fundamentally have 6 classes to review, do any stripes that they missed in that testing cycle, and promote people in class. We don't inconvenience our families by doing one testing date on a Saturday, occupying their time. We have managed to do it in class, which again, payroll-wise makes sense because you're there anyways, right? I'm not adding additional payroll for bell testing. I'm not renting a facility, et cetera, et cetera. We do it all within the structure, and which also I think makes smart business because you pay me $279 a month for twice a week. You don't pay me to rent a facility, do all those different things. So now I'm able to work the cycle of bell testing right in with the regular curriculum. So what does that have to do with back to school? Everything. So you figure April finishes, May, they earn 2 stripes. June, they earn 2 stripes potentially. Maybe they're going to leave early in June and they only have 3 on their belt. Well, guess what? You have 4 stripes on your belt. I can confidently say to you before you leave on vacation that when you come back from vacation, we will earn those 2 other makeup stripes that you need. You will have all 6 stripes. You will graduate and test out with your peers. Because I think that's what creates a lot of anxiety for children and why they want to quit, right? Oh, I'm behind. My friends are all going to graduate. I feel so stupid. And they stress out their parents. There was a time I had that happen. A parent would call me from Hawaii saying, "Can you please tell my kid everything's going to be cool?" Because they're all stressed out. They're mad at me for missing classes because we're in Hawaii when they should be enjoying it. So now, what do we become? We're the villain, right? We ruined their family vacation. I actually had one of those calls. And so to correct that by saying, pre-framing it before they even leave on vacation, hey, you're going where? You're going to Hawaii? That's awesome. We want you to have the best time ever. And I want you to know right now that when you come back, you will earn those 2 stripes. Because remember, it's a whole month of makeup stripes, review, and testing. You will earn those 2 stripes. You will test out and you will graduate with your friends. Does that sound good? Well, okay. Well, you have a great vacation. And then while they're on that vacation, of course, they will get a "We Miss You" postcard. We'll even go as far as to send them the 2 curriculum stripes that they need to do makeup on. We'll also follow up with texts and things like that. "We miss you. We look forward to you coming back." And as we get closer to your reactivation date, we're sending them links for the makeup stripe workshop. We're sending them the videos again. We're sending them texts. So all of that leads up. Now, we know there's a certain amount of people that are going to go on hold and simply will not come back, right? That's not going to happen. And that's okay. But we want to mitigate some of that. You with me? The goal is to mitigate some of that. And so I believe we're doing better each and every day. Cool. What you do with those summer day campers is a big thing. You have this list of how many campers have been in your business over the summer. Some of them are new faces, right? I think the beautiful thing about that for me is it's a built-in email list. We had so many new faces in our camps this summer. So we had the unique opportunity of right away, letting them know, continue the great life skills learning and the value you got in our camps by enrolling in our after school program or sign up for regular martial arts classes. And of course, we're doing pre-sales for next year's camps. While everybody's excited about it, it's fresh, it's new, it's wow, we can get them to actually sign up at a discount and a savings for camp now. But you need to pre-frame that really well. We let them know, hey, You don't have to book the weeks now. And remember, you get a full refund if you need to cancel Friday before the actual camp. So those two things in place make it more palatable to want them to give you money now and register for camp. And is that a good thing? Yeah. I mean, if some of you have rough Julys, right? July's the hardest month ever, right? In most martial arts schools, it's a great opportunity to build up some cash. Cool with those early bookings for camp. Just don't go spend it all in one place. You with me? So we have that going on right now. Another big thing that works for us, for a lot of it, it's too late in the year for most people, but I'm going to push it heavy at all my different consulting groups and people that I work with, is the kindergarten meet and greet. The kindergarten meet and greet. Write it down. What that fundamentally is, with the kindergarten meet and greet, the elementary schools are closed physically, right? So it's not like the PTA can go into the schools and do this event. So we offer up our facilities to the elementary school PTAs and the committee that facilitates this and just loves it, where the incoming TK, which is transitional kindergarten, and kindergarten kids can come into your facility on a Saturday, right, from 3 to 5, and be able to meet the other parents, meet the PTA. All the kids can meet each other in this event. The key is how you present the event. And if you want the handout, let me know. I'll send it to you. It's a whole layout of how we do this event. But it's primarily designing drills and skills that allow the children and parents to meet each other and interact, right? It'd be a totally defeatist purpose if every drill is just an interaction between the child and the parent because I'm trying to sell my excellent kids program. No, 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 right? Service is the new profit. So I'm very mindful that when we cultivated this event, that each drill is designed to achieve the purpose for them to meet each other, for them to interact with one another, and begin to plant seeds for potential relationship that can last over the next 5 years. You with me? Right. The worst thing you can do is walk around with a clipboard soliciting students. The worst thing you can do is every 5 minutes announce, we have a special, sign up today, got a free uniform. That's the worst thing you can do. That is not the purpose of that event. So is why we've earned the trust. They know they can come to us and they know the PTA gets a time slot to stand up there. The principal was there last Saturday. That was so cool. The principal came. So talk about being able to stand shoulder to shoulder with the most influential people in that elementary school when you need some support in growing your business. But don't put the cart before the horse. Make sure that event is tailored towards that and only that. So if you want the format for that, put your name right here and say, I want it. I want it. Okay. Put it in there and say, I want it. And we will gratefully do that for you. And then, of course, we do have an email list because everybody had to sign a waiver for that. So, thank you for coming to the so-and-so elementary school kindergarten meet and greet. It was a honor. Very grateful to have, facilitate it. And by the way, we have an after-school program. And by the way, think about classes. Everybody in that event earned one of our life skills badges via Kids Love Life Skills. Every one of them. We're doing coloring sheets in the back, from Kids Love Life Skills. So we were organically promoting our programs. Every bathroom had two, flyers in the acrylic flyer. One for our pre-K kinder program, Excellent Kids. One for after school. With a QR code, you can conveniently scan. They were all throughout the school, at the front desk, in strategic areas in the back room where they met and ate and hung out. They're strategically placed so people can see that. And of course, at the front counter, we had all the hard copy flyers people could take when they left. Kindergarten meet and greets. Write it down. I know it might be a little late in the year, but I don't think it is. I think you can still convince the PTA because of the value of this event that it's early in the year. A lot of these kids are going to be here for the next 5 years. Let us still do it for you because it's no cost to them. All they have to do is send out an email saying, hey, maybe even a Friday night, right, from 5:30 to 7, come to One Martial Arts, meet other kindergarten parents and their kids, begin nurturing that network, right, that network with other parents, which I think is really, really valuable. Cool. Now, one of the things we talked about in promoting today's show was systems, 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 and more systems. Stay with me. So, strategically, what are we having right now in our school? Belt testing is going on. So, again, if I can get you to your next belt, as long as you've earned it and deserve it, guess what? You're going to continue with me into the school year. So, it's really important for us that we're promoting, right, early on. We're not waiting till the end of the month, Labor Day weekend, to promote people. We're going through those stripes. And I can tell you right now, we're at August 15th. We're halfway into the month. We have kids already with new belts on. Is that going to be momentum as they move into their new grade? Is that going to help mitigate that phone call of, it's a new grade. It's a new thing. So, we're going to take a break right now. And once we get all our ducks in a row, we get things together, we'll come back. Now, this kid's got a brand new belt. They want to earn their next stripe. So psychologically, I think it's a really, really good thing because they have momentum, right? So again, curriculum design and designing a curriculum to follow the school schedule at the elementary school system, I believe is a huge, huge, huge reason why our retention continues to improve and improve and improve. Cool. Another big thing we got going on right now, once a year we do one demo. One demo. Why? When you call me up and want me to bring a demo team on a Thursday at 5:30, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's really hard to get all those kids together. Plus, they're coming additionally to your school to practice for the demo on the demo team. So that means they're more than they had originally wanted to be there, on and on. So for us, that never worked. We had a demo team. We demo team outfits and everything. We had that for a long, long time. And we just found it was like pulling teeth. It was hurting our culture versus enhancing our culture, right? But Art and Wine Festival, 2 days, right outside our front door in Millbrae, we'll have all these carnival rides. That's the event every year. They have a stage out there in the kids area. We will perform on that stage. So talk about the inertia and momentum. Should I put my child on hold? No, they're on the demo team. Let's take them right through Labor Day weekend and keep rolling into their first stripe. So do the homework. Okay, do it with me. Look at this timeline. I earned my belt by the second week of August. I'm practicing with the demo team. I come to Labor Day weekend. I perform on stage. Next week, I'm already learning a new stripe. That's a seamless integration, right? Seamless. Seamless? No, seamless. So there's not even a thought of quitting. We have, system-wise, of course, everything's inventoried this time of year. You clean up from camp, you order the new supplies, you maintenance our vans, get them up to par, washed, cleaned, tuned up. That's all done. Integrating the new skills system, integrating the new kids into the after-school program systematically, from issuing new uniforms to making sure pickups are effective. All those different things are happening right now. Because if we can do that, that kid will stay through the whole school year. And I think it's incredible if you want to talk about, lifetime student value for us. To me, the unicorn, but it could be a norm, is the kid who is in your after-school program. Now, our after-school program is $850 a month on average, full-time. And they're also doing martial arts. Spring break, winter break, summer break, they roll right into your camps. Right into your camps. Right? Then when they come out of camps, they're right back into your after-school program. And, our camps are $500 a week. Times that by 4, that's $2,000 a month, right? $2,000. They do all 10 weeks, say roughly $4,000, right? Stay with me, $4,000. They do your after-school program. We do 9 payments at $850. What is that, Marco? 7,500, somewhere in there? 850 times 9, that's 0.5, carry the 4, 36, 40. What is that? Yeah, that's a little over. What is that, Marco? Help me. Okay, let me just grab a calculator, because this stuff is to me, I like numbers, as you can hear in what I'm saying. So if we have 850 times 9 payments, that's $7,640. Plus, let's say they do 8 weeks of camp at $500 a week. There's another $4K. So now we're at 11,650, right? Divide that by 12. Wow, that's crazy. That's $970 a month. Think about that. Imagine if you could get that from one student. Wow. How many students would you need to be a million dollar business? Not a lot, right? And we do have kids like that. I can name several right now that literally are in our after school program or roll into 8 to 10 weeks of our camp and go right back into after school. That's not a lot of schools can say that the average student value is $970, right? So again, we're constantly nurturing that. So everybody within systematically have been sent texts, email, in the newsletter. It's posted in the school. It's on the TV that we have this great after school program, right? We promote our camps the same way. We're promoting camps right now, early registration. We'll go heavy with Facebook ads and everything come January for our camps. So systematically, we have all these different things in place. They sit in our Google Calendar, so we know when it needs to happen. So that's a big one. Systemizing and automating as much of those processes as you can, because when I have that question with people and I say to them, what did you do to become successful? And they'll answer that question and I'll ask them, are you still doing those things today? And on average, people say, no, I'm not. And then I ask that question, why aren't you doing the things that helped you become successful to begin with? Consistently doing them. And they don't have any definitive answer. I don't know if it's they got bored or if, it's just not to their liking anymore. I'm not sure. I honestly don't know what motivates that mindset, because everybody who's extremely successful will tell you point blank, the reason I'm successful is because I consistently do ABC. Consistently do ABC. And it's the same thing here. We look for these huge, grandiose brushstrokes of wins when really it's never that way, right? It's a slow, boring, tedious work that you do day in and day out that eventually yield you results. Case in point, say you have a martial arts technique you're not very good at, and you work at it, and you work at it, and you work at it, and you don't feel like you're getting any better. You work at it, then boom, one day magically, that technique is really good. What was the investment of consistently practicing it at a high level, failure and all, that got you to the point you're at? You with me on that? Who's with me on that? It's the same thing here. So using your Google Calendar and scheduling in these different maintenance things like painting the school, like ordering uniforms, like ordering belts, like, changing your Facebook ads, changing, all those things should be in a calendar with notifications that remind you, right? Monday, go bing, right? Turn off your day camp ads. I had a school learner, and this happened realistically. He forgot to turn off his ads for camp, and he was paying fees. He was paying Facebook ad spend on day camp apps that were useless to him. Useless. I saw one guy's Facebook ad, and it was something for 4th of July running now in August. Totally a huge disconnect. You with me? So again, that type of maintenance could simply be on the Monday of every month, the first Monday of every month, I preview all of the Facebook ads I'm running, Instagram, Google, whatever it is that you're doing, right? So that is another system that has to be written in, because those systems allow you to be extremely consistent. And it's that consistency that I'm personally aspire to. Slow and steady wins the race. Slow is the new fast. You just have to methodically work at whatever it is that you're doing. So that's a big system for us right now. Let's talk a little more about marketing. The first thing you want to do is go through your website, go through your Facebook, go through your Instagram, go through your Google business page. And in case for us, we also use Yelp, and we also use nextdoor.com. Because I'm a firm believer, I don't market one way to 70 people. I market 70 ways to 70 people. So we need to do that, but consistently. So the first thing I did, I went into the website and I took down the summer day camp pop-up. Those pop-ups happen when you go to website, boom, it pops up. Now when it pops up, it says after school. Super important, right? I made a back to school blog that got posted there. I went in and previewed some of the pictures, made sure they were up to date with the latest camp photos, right? So people can see that we're there. We got a new award, Best of the Best 25 from Bay Area Parent Magazine. We added that, into every page, kid-centric page at our website. That type of maintenance is just so important because I do understand a dynamic website where I'm updating things consistently allows me the opportunity to improve my SEO, right? Optimization. A static website that hasn't been updated in, 5, 10 years, you're dead in the water. If I look at your awards and the last award you posted was from 2010, you're dead in the water, right? If the last review I see on your reviews page is from 2009, you're dead in the water. You're dead in the water. So it's super important to have those things in place constantly, right? Farming that information, getting those reviews, getting those different things that you need to show that you're current, up to date, and relevant. Of course, the Google algorithms love it. Anytime I go into our website and post a new review at Google, right? They're like, hey, that's good data. Because the thing I understand in my AI studies, stay with me, that they all want consistent data. That's super important, right? Google is a data center, right? So is Meta. Meta's a data center. Yahoo, which is owned by Microsoft, is a data center. And I think Yahoo or it's MSM, one of the two. So remember, they don't want inconsistent data. That just confuses the algorithms and makes it a bad day. Just like when I go to your Google business page and your business hours say one thing, and your business hours at your website say another, and your business hours at your Google, but it's all different. It promotes distrust. Nothing worse than to have a brand new potential lead show up to your school for a kids class, and because the schedule wasn't updated, they're watching some adult kickboxing class. Not a good experience. Not a good experience. So something as basic as that, they all want good data. Now, does the SEO at Google love me when the hours at my website are the same as my hours at the Google business page? Yes. And if it's reinforced with the same thing at my Facebook business, my Instagram, Nextdoor, Yelp, absolutely. Absolutely. But again, that's scheduled maintenance. And for many school owners, it's out of sight, out of mind, right? Write that down. Out of sight, out of mind. So the only way it's going to be at the forefront of my brain, the only way it's going to be at the forefront of my brain is if I take the time to invest in it passionately invest in it, and know that that's going to help my retention. That's going to help earn trust because my message is consistent. Another big one is going in and taking down stuff that's irrelevant. I think cleaning up your Facebook page, your Instagram, your Google business page is important. Do I need to have we're closed 4th of July weekend anywhere? No, nowhere. I don't need it anywhere at this point. So to double back and clean that stuff up should something that's another system in your marketing that should happen each week. Once 4th of July weekend passes, can you potentially take down that post on you were closed? All day, every day. So one time I studied it and it was recommended, put it in stories because stories go away after 24 hours, something like that. But again, I think most people are going to look at my feed before they do my stories, especially if my stories are just riddled with, we're closed 4th of July weekend. Here's an upcoming testing date. Come to the, mom and me party, things of that nature, right? I still think the post is the most common place people go to. Think about that. When you open up your Facebook, do you tend to go to Reels first, Stories first, or look at the posts that are there publicly? Put it in the comments. Okay, so I've done that. I've gone in, I've deleted 4th of July weekend, I've changed the pop-up at the website, I've posted a new blog, I've sent out all the emails to the campers who just finished up about after school and a discount on the upcoming camps, right? We're working bell testing with momentum to get them right through Labor Day weekend so they don't come to us and say, hey, the school schedule's really busy. We're going to wait till it settles down before we come back. Now, there are going to be a handful that will say that it's unavoidable. Unavoidable. Okay. We got our one demo team coming up. Big Art and Wine Festival. We'll be out there. There's like 40, 50,000 people over a 2-day period. It'll be festive in front of the school. We're going to have a cotton candy machine, a bubble machine. Maybe I'll get a balloon twister, a balloon, a face painter, or really push the envelope on that. And all of that will be free. We want people to hang out in front of our school for as much and as long as we can. Super, super, super important, right? And we budget for that. That's part of our marketing budget. So that momentum of Labor Day weekend, we haven't missed the ground running all summer long. We haven't had a single lull. And the beautiful part about those systems, I've been away in Japan and Vegas for about a month. But those systems that I write, those great systems, would never, ever, ever happen unless I had a great team. So I've invested heavily in writing great systems and producing a great team. If I can do that, it allows me the freedom. You with me? Okay, so what else do we got coming up? We're also big on the welcome back to school nights at all the different schools. You should be involved in that. And the cotton candy is a low barrier of entry. It is, because they're all there to meet each other, back to school, meet the teachers, see the classrooms, all that stuff. They're not there to watch a demo team in the multi-use room. But I guarantee you, every one of those kids want cotton candy, right? Coming up on the tails of that will be the teacher-parent conference, right? The progress check. Not uncommon. If you can make it happen where you're in the multi-use room with the kids doing a confidence building workshop so the parents can move freely in and out of these classrooms, right? And be able to meet the teachers. But that's scheduled. So if I'm scheduled at 7 o'clock, I'm there at 6:50. If I could drop my kid off at the multi-use room, do a confidence building workshop with you, I go on the teacher's thing at 6 o'clock. I see the classroom. I'm out by 6:10. I grab my kid by 6:15. I'm on my way home. You'll never have 300 or 400 kids in there at once. They're coming in time increments. So I think that's an untapped resource, right? But it's not something the teachers are even thinking about, right? Or the school district is thinking about, because the kid's normally in tow with the parent and they sit there with the parent. Or you leave the kids at home with their grandparents. In this case, we've created another opportunity for parents to come. That's often the big beef, right? Is I can't come, I got to feed the kids, I got to take them home, I have nobody to watch the kids. So that, I think, is another opportunity you should be looking at. Back to school night. And of course, on the tails of that in October is what? Bully Awareness Month. So you should be scheduling those confidence building workshops. You should be scheduling them into your school for your own existing student base. Bring a buddy to the event. All that should be happening. And you want to support that? Position yourself as an authority. Post a blog in September about confidence building and about bullying and how your school can be a great solution. Back it up with a blog. Post that blog at all the different parenting pages that you might be associated with. We have one in San Francisco, Sunset Parents. We have one in Millbrae Parents. Of course, I'm going to be posting that because I'm not going 2 weeks in a uniform for $19.99. I'm posting really good content about bullying and the impact it has. Of course, in the bottom will be a small blurb. We're holding a free workshop for the community. There's no sales there. You're offering a genuine service to the community that serves the community. You with me? Right? But if I put at the bottom of this great blog on bullying, come in now for 2 weeks in a uniform, $19.99, I'm done. There's the ulterior motive, right? You genuinely have to come from a point of service. But we're talking about a confidence bullying workshop in October, right now in August. Why? I find one of the biggest mistakes I've made, school owners make consistently, is we don't have adequate time to promote an event properly. And every great event is at least 4 to 6 weeks out. At least 4 to 6 weeks out. I would say 4 weeks if you're doing some kind of event every month, which you should, whether it's a parents' night out, a bullying workshop, dodgeball night, whatever. You should be doing at least one a month. One retention one for your existing students, one to generate new leads. They're two completely different events. When we do our Halloween party or our holiday party or our Easter party or the mom and me party or the dad and me party, those are retention events. They're not designed to generate new students. Not at all. Internally, one of our prizes is a week of camp. It allows us to promote our camp. Because all through leading up to that drawing in that event, we are sharing. We got camps coming up. We got camps coming up. We got camps coming up. You can win a free week now. So because the prize supports the need to say, we do day camps, we got them coming up, it's a no-brainer. You with me? You with me? So think about that. If you were to open up your calendar now and look at September, October, November. What is it filled out with? I had that discussion yesterday on a group call. What we do for Halloween. We're booked for every trunk or treat, which is 3 elementary schools, right? We physically donate candy to our parents with a CTA card to it. You want to give out candy for us. Our parents are giving out candy. Then we do an event for our location in Millbrae at my home, where we have 300 to 400 kids on our doorstep, Halloween night, getting cotton candy. But that has to be planned now, or it's good idea, poor execution, right? Good idea, poor execution. And really what it is at this point is just reviewing that system and saying, can we make it better? So you don't write a system and set it and forget it. You must write a system and review, tweak, review, tweak, review, tweak constantly. So I'm already looking at how we can do Halloween better. Yeah, there you go, right? There you go. And of course, for the one at my home, we promoted it next door. We let the community know, come by. No one's giving out cotton candy, only here. And of course, we're all standing out there in one martial arts gear. Of course, even in front of my home. So again, cultivating this presence in the community that you earn through service, you earn by giving, you earn by paying it forward, is vital when it comes to your marketing. And I find, when I do a silent auction and we're donating a premium birthday party at $750, and my so-called competitor, for the lack of a better word, is giving away 6 passes for 2 weeks and a t-shirt for classes, and nobody's bidding on it because nobody's there for martial arts. But I can always want a great place to do my child's birthday party. I'm always looking for a week of camp. You with me? So again, when somebody says to me, well, what's your ROI on giving out cotton candy? What's your ROI? I say, well, what's an ROI on caring? Think about that one for a moment. And that's what leads me to encourage everybody here on the call. I want you to think about it. And if you're hanging out, tell me your name. Tell me where you're tuning in from. That'd be really cool. If you truly want to succeed in business, adopt the farmer mentality, right? That's why our summers are so robust. We've built these camps over year. We've built the reputations, keeping the same summer schedule, keeping everything we do, because we understand that if we can overserve our clients, right? The under promise, over deliver thing, no good. Over promise, over deliver all day, every day. I'm a huge, huge, huge purveyor for that thought process. The farmer mentality says, I rototill the ground, I pull the weeds, I fertilize it. Do I have crop I can sell yet? No, I don't. I plant the seeds, I cover it, I water it. Do I have, crop yet I can sell? No. It sprouts into a sapling. Do I have crop yet? No. A great fruit like blueberries, I think, takes 3 seasons before you have this great mature blueberry you can sell to market. And then it'll organically produce year after year after year with very simple maintenance, right? Pulling the weeds and doing different things like that. That's the farmer mentality. So all the different things I've named that we lay out through our whole calendar and a whole year, not just back to school, is designed to create lasting relationships. Always toot our horn on this one. The average tenure of employee at one martial arts is like 10 to 12 years now. That's pretty unheard of for a martial arts school because I see the value in that. My team provides me freedom. And so I'm willing to make that investment. It's the same thing here. Are you willing to invest in your marketing? Are you willing to invest in writing those systems? Are you willing to invest in the community with these events, which fundamentally on the surface yield you nothing financially? You gain no new students right off the bat. But when we're slinging cotton candy at those back to school nights, we have acrylic frames set up with QR codes, after school, early learners, day camps. We have them right there. So if a thought crosses your mind, you whip out your phone, you scan that code, you could learn about our day camps. You can learn about our early learners. You could learn about our after school program. It is all there. But we don't stand in front of the cotton candy and say, if you want cotton candy, you must give me your name and email. And somebody proposed that to me. They go, why don't you do that? Right? So you can capture the lead. I think that totally takes away from the experience. And if you do too, put that in the comments as well. So, as you see, we're discussing a calendar that's set: Halloween, holiday party, bullying, right? Back to school events, kindergarten meet and greets. Success isn't by chance, success is something you plan for. So, when we talk about back to school, every month is back to school. Every month, we're finding ways to improve, getting new students, keeping new students, because the three R's, and it's not correct: enrollment, retention, and renewals. Enrollment does not have enough. Maybe they're looking at enrollment, retention, renewals. Those are the three things we focus on systematically. What are we doing to enroll new students? What are we doing to renew students? What are we doing to retain students? Right? That's a standard in our industry. It's that way in many businesses. So you cultivate the systems for that, you train a team to deliver it, and then you monitor that system, right? But all of that can't happen unless I'm looking right now, 6 to 8 weeks out, potentially. Hey, man, it's, October 1st. We got to have all our bullying workshops scheduled. We have gotten the information out to the school district, all the different Facebook groups, on and on. So again, the systems behind that help shore up that calendar for us, phenomenal, phenomenal. Here's another big one that a lot of people don't think about. As I shared, I just got back from Japan and Vegas for the past month, right? I think next week TJ goes to Disneyland, and I'm going to cover a couple of dates. Him and his brother are going together to Disneyland, I believe. I support that. So I will run black belt test on my own. Fortunately, it's a small one. They're going to run first degree when they get back on September 6th. Love you guys. What a healthy balance. Because there's no way I could handle both black belt testing and first degree and second degree testing by myself. But you see the balance there? And we plan for those things. Because once they finish vacations, because that's, again, they have children, that works. We all do our vacations during the summer because we know once the school year is in, we're not taking off for 2 weeks to go to Japan. So I want my guys to take their vacations. I want them to do those things. So when they get back after Labor Day weekend, bam, 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 we bang it out and we push hard. Okay. So that's another big one people don't think about, is your team, and making sure, even though it's back to school, that they've all taken their vacations this summer, right? And if you offer paid vacation, which you should, that'll inspire them even more to go on vacation and use that vacation time. That's super important to me. I want my team fresh. I want them to love what they do. I want them to know that One Martial Arts supports vacations with paid vacations, and that they can go use that paid vacation without the, anxiety that I'm not making any money the week I'm gone. And I'm spending money because I'm on vacation. You with me? So these are some of the things I live by and why. 2 locations, about 900 students. Hopefully that'll get back up to 1,000 once everyone's back to school. And we'll do $2 million this year again. We're at a better pace than we've ever been. I think the big thing that's turning the corner, and this is off topic a little bit, is San Francisco is recovering. Take a look at it. Back to work. Everyone's having to come back to work 2 to 4 days a week. They've really made great efforts to cure the homeless challenges in San Francisco, especially with the new mayor. And our downtown is being revitalized. I'm seeing it everywhere now. More conventions are booking, more restaurants are opening, some big groups are coming. It's really fueled by AI. All the AI companies are coming back. They're moving into San Francisco because the rent's so darn cheap. They're locking in these long-term leases because our downtown's been dead like a ghost town, filled with, homeless issues, drugs, and all that for a number of years now. And it's finally turning the corner. And I'm grateful that I did sign a new 10-year lease in San Francisco. But it's a bit nostalgic. I was born and raised in the city. I love the city. I believe in it. So I've eaten it. In the past couple of years, San Francisco has been a break-even business, which I'm okay with. I'm going to tell you why. Because it supplies jobs to about 10 to 15 people. And had I closed San Francisco because I'm not seeing a big profit, all those people would have lost work. So I chose. Call it a gamble, call it loyalty to my team. But here we are. So it's a good day, right? And I see it reflected in the numbers, right? San Francisco is doing better than it did last year, better than the year before. And that's really, my key KPI. I can say at a base level, if we're doing better this year than we did a year ago, I'm a happy camper. Cool? Take a deep breath. Any thoughts, any takeaways? Go ahead and put them in there. If you're coming aboard, you're here. Say hello. Tell me who you are. Tell me where you're tuning in from. All right. So another big thing coming up with back to school is planning your fourth quarter, right? That's a big one. I'm already thinking, as we've shared, if you've already experienced in this conversation, I'm already into October, November, December. I'm already into it, which leads us into January. I'm already into it because success leaves clues, and success is something you plan for, right? So we're already working on our fourth quarter. Budget, expense, everything, projections, how much money we're going to close the year out at. All of that is going on now. Why? Because we also have a tuition increase come January. So we want to start campaigning for it, right? In October, November, December, we are campaigning, sharing that with our parents, offering, which we don't normally do, cash outs. Cash outs will do for our, I won't say grandfathered in, I'll say long-term students. They take the most advantage of that. We don't advertise it to new students or anything like that, but it will go organically through SMS and things like that to our existing student base. We will, because we like that luxury. But I think that the misconception is people go, whoa, I had a $250,000 month. No. If the majority of that were cash outs, you need to spread that out over 12 months. And Letitia does that quite well. She'll move that money out and put it into a different account, right? Because I maintain several accounts for each business. And that's a whole nother subject. If you're interested, read the book Profit First. It'll help enlighten you and give you a clear picture of what I'm talking about. So I think that's the other thing with back to school. We're so excited to review our expenditures this year, our budgets for next year, what we did well this year, what we did poorly this year, how we can improve. And I know fourth quarter, we're going to have additional numbers, additional data to add to it. But if come up now, as we come into September, you don't have at least a clear picture on how your business has been going this year, then I'm going to ask you to just take a couple of steps back, regroup, and change your mindset. Change your mindset, because I understand managing my mindset is everything to that. And as I was sharing with Marco before this call, I had a rough day yesterday, very rough. First day back teaching. I only teach Thursdays, but consistently every Thursday makes a huge difference. Not teaching for 4 Thursdays in a row and coming back, I was a little out of sync. I was a little out of sorts last night, and I had a couple of missteps, but I believe with course correction, I'll do a better job. So I think that's a big one. The fourth quarter for us, we can basically look at those first, 8 months and know what we've done and know how we're going to close out that year and begin strategizing how we can improve 2026. That's a big one. And that's why our event, It's Time Life Freedom, we offer November 8th to 11th. It will prepare you for 2026. It will prepare you for 2026. Cool? All right. So a lot of good stuff today. A lot of good stuff. What are your big takeaways for those of you who are here? And what are your comments? Feel free to put them in. And while we do that, I'm going to start wrapping up the show. So first, I want to thank my sponsors. Of course, we have Tusa, Market Muscles, My Studio, Kids Love Life Skills, LC Accounting, Kin Creative. And I just got off the phone today with two of My Studio, and I love that guy. He's my brother in so many ways. We share spiritual belief, and we share the genuine need to give back to this industry and take really good care of our families. And what they're doing at My Studio, is just phenomenal. I can't share everything, but it's a whole nother space. And their loyalty to us as school owners is something people don't see because they look at them as just another business for profit, right? Simply not true. Hey, Ken. Great stuff. Ken D here. Love the take on serving the community with no agenda to recruit contacts. Yeah, no strings attached. Also, wish every business kept their business hours updated online. Yeah, that's a big one, Ken. There's a great thing if the law of attraction, I know people think this is just kumbaya stuff, right? They do. They think it's kumbaya stuff, but I don't. I have strong spiritual beliefs. I think it's what separates us from AI and all the rest. You got to give me something to believe in the words of Poison. And you pay it forward, you pay it forward, you pay it forward. You do it genuinely, but what goes around comes around. You pay it forward, you get it back tenfold. It says it everywhere. It's not something I made up. And plus, it's good. It's good. It's good for your soul, man, just to give back to the community. But the other day, I was coming out of, I don't know, some juice place getting the kids some acai bowl, and there was a high school out there. They had some race relay for cancer thing fundraiser. So I donated to it. 2 hours later, me and my son's in Target. We bought a box of cards for $50. We pulled out a $1,200 card. Coincidence? Sure. Absolutely. Does it mean I'm not going to have bad nights like yesterday? I felt like a one-legged man in a butt kicking contest. I was not the best instructor I've ever been. I was truly out of sorts. But when I see magic moments like that, it's cool. One of those moments was in Disney Sea in Japan. It was hot. It was a long day. And everyone was pretty tired, so we told the kids who wanted to ride this Frozen ride, right, because we don't have that here in the United States. Go ahead. They go, well, we may not make it because it was like, I don't know, 15 minutes before closing. So they jetted across the park. We're sitting there all tired, kind of watching the fireworks that were starting, and then I get a text, right, from Taya, and she says, Papa, we just got in. We're the last ones in line. And they just closed and they stopped everybody behind us. Maybe they felt sorry because we were kids. I mean, there weren't parents. Well, it's not these are big kids. These are teenagers. But nonetheless, they let them in. And I got this burst of energy, this amazing burst of energy. And my friends are looking at my wife like, man, we're tired. What the heck's wrong with you, dude? Right? And I was just all dancing and singing and laughing because I was so happy. They could have jetted across that park and they were told no. But that wasn't the kicker. Here's the kicker. They got on the ride. They were the last people on the ride. So in this boat-like thing that goes through Frozen, they were the only 4 on this boat car thing, right? And they were the only ones on the ride. So they could make all the noise they wanted. They shot a video singing "Let It Go," and they were just so excited and childlike. With teenagers, they're angst-ridden, they're moody, but they were kids for a minute. And I was just dancing and so happy. Coincidence? Oh, who knows, right? But it's those magic moments in life that really make what we do worth it all, right? They do. So we strive to do that, and I believe we can achieve some of that by paying it forward, right? Give more than you get. Constantly pay it forward, pay it forward, pay it forward. Oh, I didn't say that in there. I also donated to a school owner that has a school in a third world country, and they needed an air conditioner. And I helped through my network, not only donating money, but creating awareness for their GoFundMe. And they were able to buy a refrigerator. And last time I looked, they could buy the air conditioner and a refrigerator and a couple of other things. And what did I gain from that? Personally, just the satisfaction, the joy of giving back. So yeah, I definitely hear you, Ken. You gotta keep giving, keep giving, keep giving. I can't express that enough, sir. I can't express that. Cool. So what do we got coming up? It's Time Life Freedom. Right now we have a $200 discount, exactly $199, 10 spots. We only take 20 school owners. Be one of the first 10 people. Get it booked. Spend 4 days with us in a retreat. And if you can't take time off from your school, close your school, take a loan, do whatever you need to do, because this will change your life. This is our 9th iteration of this event, and this one, amply is entitled It's Time Life Freedom. We chose this time to forego any special guests. I want to immerse you totally in everything that we do. I'm going to have a couple of my team do presentations so you can see how we've managed to produce these 2 schools, $2 million a year, about a 35% net. We want to share that with you and give you the gist of that so you can really embrace everything that I do that's created the freedom where I'm gone for a month and these guys are just kicking it and they're making things happen. Cool? So get signed up for that now. Marco put the link for that in there. And then, schedule a discovery call with us. We are not consultants. We are mentors. Huge difference. Go look up the definition. of a consultant. Look up the definition of a mentor. We are a mentor, and that's why it's the It's Time group mentoring program. Cool. All right. I'm out of here, man. I'm going to go help with the after school program today because it's the second day, and I want to make it tight and right and make sure we do a really, really good job. And that's what I think is also special about working with me is I'm not an absentee owner. I don't just sit in a glass house and hypothesize on how you can be successful. Me and my team are in the trenches, doing the same things you do every day, exploring it, discovering better ways to do what we do. And I truly believe that's what separates us from everything else out there. Cool? Alrighty, folks. I am Brannon Beliso. This is Success Never Sleeps. And until we talk again, please, you go out there, live your best life.